Good morning and welcome to another fun
Morning.
episode of Daddykirbs Live on a Saturday morning. The things are going to be a little bit different this morning because my normal setup where I have, pardon me, I'm going to use the squirrel hat to wipe the lens off. Hold on. Oh, there we go. All right. Hopefully that is a little better. So it's going to be a little different because my normal setup, just to let you know. Good morning, good morning. I see you guys. My normal setup is I have a little clip that attaches to this and it sits on top of my tripod and that holds my phone. And then I have control over angle of phone and I can swivel it around and it just makes things nice for um, having more control over the phone, and it's nice and steady. Well, I couldn't find the little clip this morning, so sitting here trying to figure out how to uh, be ingenious, and my moderator and friend and brains of the operation, Miss Kate here, said, well, why don't you take a stack of your stickers. By the way, if you don't have stickers, you know what to do. Or if you don't know what to do, I'll tell you in a little bit. I took a stack of stickers and I put a rubber band around it, put it on top of a mug just like this one, and now my phone is rubber band to a stack of stickers sitting on top of a mug. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. All right, it's just gonna be a little bit. I need a bag to hold all my stuff. Yeah, actually I have several bags, but they end up with other stuff in them. The Nectar Bar with Drake White, she gave me a bag. I also have a Daddykirbs bag, and it ends up with other stuff. All right, let's get started. So I've already mentioned, now see I can turn the mug.
Hi.
Mentioned my moderator and friend here, Kate. So Kate and others like Kilted Gardener, Wee Tree Bonsai, Dolly Perry, and those are the names I can see. Ronald, is he in the house?
Yes.
Those that I can see on the screen right now with their wrenches, they are the moderators. That team of people, you guys are amazing because you help keep this show running and family friendly. So everyone should give a little shout out to my moderators, telling them thank you for being here and thank you for helping, because it really does make a big difference. All right. Also, a big thank you to my financial supporters, my patrons, through Patreon and PayPal. You guys have continuously given me small gifts every month that have helped me keep things going as far as buying equipment and tools, and I may end up using some of those funds to buy a new little clip if I can't find one. I might have to buy a backup anyway. So thank you very much to my financial supporters. You guys are amazing people.
Pledge.
The pledge. I'm going to attach this before I lose that too. This little piece is easily lost. All right. The pledge is, if you're brand new here, every Saturday morning we like to express a core belief. Here, whoa, and Sean's getting started early with the squirrels. Where's my squirrels? Here, I haven't lost those. There's the first one. The core belief, a core belief here on the farm, thank you, Sean, is that everyone has a story and every story counts. I really believe that. That's not just something that I found on Facebook or online or as a meme. That's something that I feel like was put on my heart by God, by a higher power, because there were times, and this actually directly relates to the... Can you guys hear all the birds this morning? You hear all the ducks and chickens? They're going nuts. That phrase has relevance to some of what I want to talk about this morning, because just sharing your life, living your life can be hard enough. Sharing your life in a positive way can be a challenge. Doing it in a creative form online is an extra layer of challenge. And throughout the last 13 years, I've been on YouTube for 13 years, but not really sharing for the whole time. 9 or 10 years sharing, just trying to find my way on this platform, never really knowing exactly which direction to go or how to share or what to do. Um, but I stuck with it. And so along the way, in one of my low points, I feel like God put on my heart that everyone has a story and every story counts. And that was, I believe, God giving me permission to give myself permission to share and to love my story because other people are touched by it. And I'm touched by other stories. So everyone has a story and every story counts. So the pledge is every Saturday morning we join together. Let me turn here. And we put our hand on our chest and we say, my story matters because I matter.
My story matters because I matter.
You do matter, Kate.
Thanks, so do you, Blake.
Thanks, Kate. It is truly a pleasure sharing my story with you guys. And I love Saturday mornings because I get to see little nuggets of your story as you share in the chat as well. Um, yes, busy little house, we tree. Those of you who are repeating that in the chat, thank you very much for being a part of this. It it's more. Let me jump right into sort of the heart of the "Don't Give Up" title this morning. Um, Over the last 10 years of sharing the Daddykirbs story, and I say the Daddykirbs story because um, prior to 2010, I was just on YouTube sharing whatever because I didn't know. You know, it was a brand new platform. I didn't know anything about video. I was just sharing some silly things, a few videos, some family videos. And then I got to share some of my backyard gardening from the previous house, the suburban house that I lived in, and the aquaponics system that was there. Well, over the last 10 years or so, there's been some very low points where I'm like, I don't even know why I'm doing this. Why am I sharing on YouTube? Why am I spending my energy putting out my story? And of course, early on, I never really considered it my story. It was just, hey, maybe I'll show the aquaponics today, or maybe I'll show a peach tree, or maybe I'll go in the garden, or whatever those things were.
Dave
And
had a second squirrel.
a
Sean
second
did a
squirrel.
second one.
Sean with the second squirrel. Thank you, sir. If I can get it clipped on. There we go. So the low points over time have been because I'm spending time, I'm spending energy. Maybe I'm getting negative feedback that early on I wasn't mentally and emotionally prepared to handle as well as I am now. And oh, wait a minute, I didn't put my microphone in. I don't even know how. Can you guys hear me? This might make it better. Hold on. Is that better? Should be a little better. Maybe you can hear the ducks and the chickens now. That's they were just absolutely going nuts because they're getting fed back here and they're making all kinds of noise.
Another
Hey,
squirrel.
what? Is that
John Halfenecker.
Mr. Happy with the squirrel? Jumping in early in the game. 3 squirrels on the hat. These squirrels like the hat.
Yes, they do.
3 charms. Aren't they charming? Get it? God, come on, guys. All right.
They said we can hear the background noise better now.
Loud and clear. Just because you matter. Thank you, Mr. Happy. You matter too. You have been with me for a while on my story, and I appreciate your encouragement, really, every time. And sharing on Facebook, you're dropping little words of encouragement here and there. I appreciate that very much. Holy cow, that's a difference in sound quality. That's why I bought it. and it works really well. It's a
If you
little,
remember to plug it in.
if I remember to plug it in. If I don't, it just sits there and looks pretty. Well, I don't even know how pretty it is. It's kind of just a fuzzy. It's called a dead cat, the little thing that covers it. So the low points in my life. Uh, are you
Another
kidding
one.
me? Come on, Brian. Will you be at the Good of the Land Fest? I am absolutely. I'm going to write that one down. I wrote 2 events. I was trying to remember this morning without my notes. I don't know. I actually did not forget that one, but in the 30 seconds I gave myself to write a list of events, that one didn't make it, but it is now. There are actually 3 events this year that I really hope to attend. And let me get through some of my story. Wait a minute. Let me get this one on here. You guys are amazing. And you must really like squirrels hanging off hats. Much better than putting them up on the bill. I could have went blind doing that. So the message of don't give up is that because there have been times, many times actually, in the last 10 years where I've been sharing my story that I felt like giving up. Why would a person look into a camera, share something, put it on some internet platform for other people to look at? And especially when, my brand, my Daddykirbs brand has not really ever been super solid. It's been just kind of developing over time because I never went into this as a business, as a full solid business plan. It was really more of I just wanted to share, and it still is that. And maybe someday I'll grow up and create a business plan, a
I hope
business.
not.
No, you hope
I
not.
hope not. You're just too much fun when you're just sharing.
Well, that's what it is right now. So maybe it'll stay that way forever.
Besides that, I must have a Peter Pan complex. I don't believe in growing up.
I hope not to grow up. I mean, not
Not
much.
throw up, grow up.
I don't want to throw up either. That's awful. That's a horrible feeling. So over time, there have been moments when I felt like giving up, and I want to share something. This is really to anyone in life at all, but I do want to focus it in just a little bit. There's a movement, a hashtag, a group of people on YouTube, and they go by No Small Creator. It's a great community for people with smaller channels, and I say smaller by the subscriber number. That's the measurement. Um, some of you are, all of you are amazing, but some have really shown a lot of energy and a lot of talent, but you just don't have the numbers yet. And I want to say that's okay. You're going to get there, and you're going to get there a lot faster than I did. 100,000 is right around the corner for me, and the only reason I'm going to achieve that, I believe, is because I never gave up. It my my videos have been some good, some not so good, and everything in between with no real
One viral.
consistency. A couple of viral videos, a couple of them over 1 million views, which is pretty cool. But had I given up in those moments, they never would have happened. The viral videos wouldn't have happened. The community wouldn't have happened. Just the relationships that we're forming wouldn't have happened. And I want to say to the No Small Creator, even if you don't know what No Small Creator hashtag is, if you are a creator on YouTube and your numbers are small still because you're just starting or you haven't found your groove, then you would fit in the No Small Creator community. And I want to say that for you, really, I want to just look right into your eyes and say, don't give up. Keep sharing your story because your story matters. I believe that from the bottom of my heart. So those who are sharing your kitchen adventures, your gardening adventures, your vlog daily life adventures, whatever it is, somebody is going to appreciate and get something from the story you're sharing. And that's what I want to say. Stick with it. Don't give up. You can do this. There's my preaching for today. I will let me see what else I have here.
Did you do
Um,
Patreons?
I did mention the
How
patrons.
about your supporters, like the farmer?
I'll get to that in just a minute.
Okay.
So let's see. I did write notes too this morning, but let me look at the notes real quick. I sort of touched on it, but I will say that uh, my channel, I don't know how good of an example it is really to any creator, except that maybe persistence pays off, because the subscriber count has gone up, and I have had a few videos that have done really well. Overall, though, I think you can be encouraged. This might sound funny, but you can be encouraged by the fact that some of my videos, many of my new videos, when I put a new video out, many of them get very few views. Oh, are you coming in, Luke? Right here, bud. I don't have as much option with the camera this morning, so you can sit right beside me. There you go. Look, Mr. Paul and Robert and Lauren, they're all saying hi. Can you look at them and say good morning?
Good morning.
Good morning. The I'm trying to stay on track. I'm easily thrown off. You guys know that. Oh, look. Links, Duncan, let's see who.
Jesse Lopez,
Jesse,
John Heffenacker,
Haffy,
the busy little house.
Busy Little House. They're all saying good morning. They like seeing you here, Luke. Sharing my story online over the last 10 years has been really interesting, but lately, for a long time now, my new videos get very few views, and that I'm okay with that. Honestly, I'm not discouraged by that. Hopefully, that offers some other creators a little encouragement, knowing that just because you get 90,000 subscribers does not necessarily mean that you're going to get a bunch of views. Now, of course, I wish I did, and I wish I had a plan to make that better. But sometimes sharing your story is just the act of sharing takes up so much time, so much energy, because you're maintaining your homestead and your family, and in some cases, special needs kids and animals and all those things. That there's so much energy poured into that, you just don't know how you're going to manage actually giving time to creating and sharing. So the creating and sharing cannot be number one priority. Now, those people who have amazing big channels and they do fantastic editing and video shots, I admire them very much. But my guess is they give that skill and that activity a lot more focused time. And some of us just can't. And I want to say that's okay. It's okay. It's really okay that if you can't give half of your life to this craft, do it anyway. If you can only give 2 hours a week and you're sharing your story and somebody's getting something out of that, do it anyway. You may never get, you may get bigger than Casey Neistat and all those others, but you may not, and that's okay. And that's what I want to say. Don't give up. All right, so let me go back and look at
There's
some
a
of these.
spider on me.
Where? That was a very tiny spider, Luke. There's a lot of spiders this year, everywhere. All right, let me look at some of these comments, some of these chats. Mac is looking, saying, what was the name of the channel you mentioned 4-ish minutes ago?
It was the subject was Luke.
The name of the channel.
Did you mention his Life with Luke channel?
I didn't. Yeah, I don't remember. Sorry. I mentioned. Oh, maybe you're talking about the No Small Creator, the group, the movement, the hashtag community, No Small Creator. That might be what you're talking about. It's not a channel. It's a group of people, a community of people that are identifying with the same hashtag, which is No Small Creator. There's a Facebook group about it, and then lots of creators on YouTube use the hashtag No Small Creator because they're connecting with that community. That might be what you're referring to. I have to be careful not to push too hard on the camera because it's not on a tripod. Let's see, going back. Let me go ahead and mention some of the companies I have a relationship with, which is affiliate companies. You okay, bud? Can you see all those people right there? Right there. You can see Tim and Macus looking. You can even see Kate right there. Look, Kate is on the camera, and she's right beside you. Is your shirt okay? Sometimes Luke has tactile issues, like things bother him to the point like fabrics and things. And there are some mornings we put a shirt on him, and he looks down and says, "It's bothering me." So I have to take that shirt off and put another shirt on. And we've gone sometimes through 5, 6, 7 shirts before we find one that he goes, "Okay, that one's fine." Or none. Yeah, there are sometimes we have to go hours with no shirt because he just can't handle the tactile. What do you call that? The sensory issues with the tactile sensory issues, whatever they're called.
I have the same problem, but it's not tactile. It's just I don't like the way they look. I've gone through 5 or 6 outfits a day too.
Yeah, it's a fashion thing.
That's it.
Yep. For
You
Luke,
wouldn't think
it's
so, but it is.
for Luke, it's a sensory thing. All right. So I was going to mention some of the companies. Sorry, I have really been distracted this morning, maybe more than normal, if that's possible. Some of the companies that I have a relationship with are, of course, Greenstock, sitting behind Luke back here. The Greenstock garden container system, the stackable containers, are designed beautifully to give you lots of growing space in a very small footprint, meaning that in about 2 square feet of deck or patio space, as long as you have access to sun and water, you can grow a lot of food. In a 5-tier system, that is 30 deep pockets. Look at those pockets right there. Those pockets are, I should really, I think they're 9 or 10, I don't know, maybe 10 inches deep. You can grow carrots and other root crops in there because there's so much room for soil in that space. Each tier holds 1 cubic foot of soil, and each pocket, there's 6 pockets per tier. That's a lot of growing space. So if you are a person that wants to grow food, but you have limited mobility or limited space, or if you just want to add a different method of gardening to your current garden or closer to your house, the Greenstock growing system right there, the Greenstock gardens, might be something that would work for you. I like how they look, and I like growing in them. These here, the lettuce is bolting and things are done. I need to replant them, but I like having them there. I think they look nice. So if you use my link and the coupon code Daddykirbs, then you can get a discount, and you will be helping the Daddykirbs farm out at the same time, because it is an affiliate link, meaning that when you purchase something, I will get a small percentage of that purchase coming to help the farm. So thank you to Greenstock. They are amazing. It's an amazing family-run company, and they are just so kind all the time through email and on the phone. Any interaction you have with them is top-notch customer service and just really friendly people. So check them out. That's Greenstock. Another is RZ Mask. I saw someone put that link in there. If you have something that is a dusty environment, whether it's woodworking or throwing hay around or cleaning chicken coops or any of those types of things where you could get that dust into your lungs, you can wear an RZ mask. They're comfortable and they work really well, and they're not that difficult to breathe through. I know that is a big deal when people wear masks, because they don't want to feel like they can't breathe. So that is a good company as well, good product, and you can check that link out. Farmer Brad, Mr. Brad, my apologies still. I have not done the video featuring your product, but you've seen it. So you guys have seen the Farmer Brad bucket system for watering your chickens in a couple of my videos. It just hasn't been featured yet. You can check Farmer Brad out and look at several of his products online, but that bucket right there is a pretty decent way to water your chickens. It's a smaller bucket, has the chicken drinkers on the side, and a float valve inside, which will keep the water level at at a certain level. So you can check that out as well. Have I forgot anyone? Oh, Luke. Mom says you need to go make your breakfast. Can you tell everybody good morning and goodbye?
Good morning.
And see you later.
See you later.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in, bud. Duncan 1900 says I can't stand tags in my clothes. Me neither. You know, one of the best inventions in the t-shirt is the printed tags, where they print
Yes.
they print the tags instead of adding that little tag. That whoever liked tags sticking in their neck? Nobody. Maybe a few people, but they're weird.
I don't know if you saw it in the chat, but I cut the tags off of everything, including my pillows that say it's against the law to cut them off your pillows.
Your pillows and mattresses, they don't
Yes,
have
I hate
tags.
tags.
I have not kept up with the chat here. I'm just scrolling. Awkward silence. You guys like those moments. I know you do.
We're still ranting about tags.
Oh. Long awkward silence because you guys have been chatting. Have a nice breakfast. I'll tell Luke that. Luke likes to make, so Luke is on the feeding tube, most of you know. And in the mornings, he mixes up his solid foods with his formula foods and throws in some blueberries and whatever, and he likes to blend it. Now, the blending is awkward because Luke, again with sensory issues, doesn't like the blender on high speed. It bothers him. But in order for that food to get perfectly pureed to go through the feeding tube, it has to be on high speed for a good minute or so, because you can't leave any little chunks, because those chunks get stuck in the tube. And so, I'll be in there and I'll turn it up and he'll come back and turn it down. Then I'd go turn it up and he'll turn it down. It's kind of a fun game we play. Yeah, Kilted Gardner says agreed with printed tags. Homesteaders of America Conference and Fair. Thank you for posting that, Dolly. So there are. I listed a few weeks ago. I listed several of those. 5 or 6 different events in the homesteading niche that I want people. Not I want people, but I think it would be really cool if people would go and hang out, learn something, and shake hands with other people that have similar interests. Homesteading of America is definitely one of them. Homesteading Life Conference with Doug and Stacy is one of them, which I hope to make it to both of those, along with Good of the Land Fest, which is in Temple this year. And that was really fun last year. It was the first one, and then the event is moved, but it's going to be bigger and better, I hear. So yeah, I hope to go to that one as well. An hour show of awkward silence. I should do that some Saturday.
What?
The hour-long awkward silence.
Oh, let's not do that. I would probably feel compelled to fill some of that silence, and you don't want that.
That's funny.
I'd have to sing the duty song.
Over and over and over.
Right.
That's funny. Still scrolling.
Oh, at Land of, wasn't it the Land of Fest where Ronald got to co-host with you?
Yeah. Oh, no. That was at Mother Earth News Fair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If you go next year, maybe he can co-host again.
Oh wait, Ronald was at the go to the Land Fest too, but
Yeah.
was he on camera? Ronald, were you on camera
Yeah,
at
I
that
think it
one?
was because he said and Ronald got to co-host.
Yeah, so Ronald's been in a few of them.
Hmm.
It's really fun hanging out with Ronald, shaking his hand, and having a conversation. That Ronald guy, he's a character.
Yeah, he is.
Let's see here. Kilted Gardner says, I'll be at, and then I have a symbol over your words.
HOA.
Oh, HOA. Yeah, the phone. I promise someday, guys, I'm going to have a better setup for my live show with a laptop and other, maybe multiple cameras. And
You trying to be in competition with Two Family?
no, I'll never beat how Two Family sets up theirs. That is
That's an
amazing.
amazing setup.
They have a really nice setup, and I'm really, really glad to have been on that show. And I may have to contact Mr. Two Family. Forgive me. Daryl, thank you. Whew. What would I do without her? And get some of his knowledge about how to set up a system for a better, more involved live show. Because like even right now, I'm thinking I want to show you guys a few clips from the dance party we had the other night, and I can't because I have no way of doing that in this setup, because this setup is just on the mobile phone and it's through the YouTube app, and all I can do is sit here, turn it around, and show you some things, which is fine. But there are times when I would like to say, hey, take a look at this, and show you pictures and video from other things. Yeah, so that would be really fun. The dance party was really a good time. So that was my daughter's 16th birthday party. And since she and Luke share a birth month, it was sort of a double party. And we have let me see. We have lights strung up outside. You can't really see a whole lot, but
You gonna leave them up?
we'll probably take them down and then restring them in a more permanent way. It's kind of temporary at the moment.
I like them.
Yeah, they're
Looks
pretty
like
cool.
They provide a lot of good light.
It really did. It was amazing the amount of light that was out here. These are LEDs, so they're not super duper bright, and they don't draw a lot of energy. But yeah, when you string them all together, it's a pretty good, it's a nice party area. So we have a lot of work to do on the farm, and one of the things is that we want to create space for hanging out. And those are just, it's a nice way to add sort of a boundary to a space without
putting up walls.
Putting up walls, exactly. Let's see here. How's the swarm doing? Thank you very much, Paul, for asking that. I'll talk about the bees right now. That swarm that I captured, I went through the effort of collecting, bringing it home, adding food to the box, adding space, all those things, and then got them out into the apiary, into the bee yard, and they were doing okay. And I felt like I needed to get them into a different box because, oh, did we get another one?
Kilted Gardner.
Kilted Gardner with another squirrel. Thank you, sir. Looking good over there. 5 squirrels. And so the swarm was transferred into another box. It was one of the plastic nuke boxes because it has lots of ventilation. And then 3 days later I checked and they were gone. They left. And I talked to a beekeeping friend of mine who does a lot of swarm catching, and he thinks that what caused them to leave is that instead of transferring them into a larger box, I put them into another nuke box, which wasn't enough space for them to feel like they could make a home. So they decided to take off, and that's exactly what they did. So, kind of a bummer, but it's a lesson learned, and it feels good to me that even though that swarm didn't stay here on the farm, I, in a way, rescued them because they were in a residential tree. And now the people who called me about that, they did not want to spray it. But in some cases, people see that big bunch of bees in a tree and they just want to go out there with a can of wasp and bee spray and kill them because they feel like, oh no,
They freak out.
the killer bees are here. I have to get in my Volkswagen and run away. But yeah,
Uh-oh, here comes Callie.
Callie's on her way. Maybe Callie will lay on the cornhole board. Where is it? Somewhere back there. And then I can toss beanbags to her. Let's see here. What's going on? What's going on? This is really an awkward moment. I'm going to get real close and make it more awkward. More awkward for me, maybe, because you can see the details of my beard with lots of gray hair. Hey, Sherry K said, I just made sauerkraut from your video yesterday and I can't wait. I am so glad you were able to get something out of that. I know that my math explanation was awkward and maybe a little too complicated, but at the moment just didn't know a better way to say it. So I'm glad you got something out of that. Love the bling. There it is. Thank you, Mary. The nuke was full. Well, the nuke that I'm referring to, Happy, the nuke that was full, they're still here because I transferred. That was a nuke developed by Gretchen Bee Ranch. And then I put them out here and put them in a full box not too long ago. And yeah, they're doing fine. That one's looking good. The Volkswagen. Scrolling through. Sauerkraut. I really do love sauerkraut, and I need to make some more. I haven't made some in a while. I haven't made kombucha in a while either.
I need to make some that doesn't go bad on me. I keep
The
doing something
sauerkraut?
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah,
I get black mold on the top of mine every time. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong.
it's so frustrating,
Yes.
and
it
it
is.
feels like such a waste. I know, I've
But I
had
do have
mold
some
a
good
couple
news.
times.
I discovered that my apple cider vinegar had not gone bad.
Oh, nice. It was
It
just
was-
developing a mother?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So I strained it off and put it in a jar. I'm using it for cleaning.
Nice. Yeah. A lot of times in the fermented foods, the scum that develops on top can look really bad,
Yeah, it did.
but it's not always bad. Sometimes it's just exactly what it should be doing.
Right.
Like with the apple cider vinegar and kombucha and those things.
Well, I just pushed it to the side and covered it with a towel and said, I'm not going to think about this today.
Yep.
Forgot it for 2 weeks and went, oh, I got to see this. And sure enough, it had the mother on top.
Yep, that is so cool. I'm glad
Yeah,
you
it
had
really
that
was.
success. Not all scum is bad. Let's see. 4Gene Freedom said, I used to get mold on my kombucha. As soon as I fermented in a different room besides the kitchen, the problem went away. Well, that's interesting.
Oh, that's a good idea. Hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, just put it in a different room. Someday, like I tell Mama Curbs this, someday I'm going to have a man's space, a den, a cave, a laboratory or laboratory. You ever seen that old cartoon? What was it called? The little guy, little smart kid, and he would
Pinky
say,
and the Brain is the only thing I
yeah,
can
not
think of,
Pinky
but
and the
that's
Brink.
not
It was like a kid, and he would say, my laboratory. What was that cartoon? Help me out, somebody.
I don't know. I've never been a cartoon person.
Blake, are you going to make hot sauce again this year? I think I am, because I planted 5 or 6 hot pepper plants. Most of them are the fish peppers. I haven't grown those ever before this year. I guess someone I got those plants from a friend from Rising Kill Farms, Robert at Rising Kill Farms. And he said that is a typical hot pepper for Asian dishes. So, oh, Dexter. Yeah, you're right. That was the name of the show. Dexter's Laboratory. Yep. I always thought that one was funny. So totally forgot what I was talking about. Dexter's Laboratory.
You wanted a man space?
Man space. Yes. I say I'm going to get one, and then in that space, I'm going to have a fermenting counter and a place that I can have temperature controlled area for fermenting. All of the sauerkrauts and vegetables and apple cider vinegar and kombucha and all those things, because I can have a place where I can have it, running at a steady temperature, and then with curtains or with doors or whatever to keep it dark as well. So that's going to happen, at least in my dreams someday. I mean, it's already developing right here. But let me go ahead and talk about some of the things that are coming up. Even today, this one's not just in my dreams. Even today, my boy, who now has a job installing pools, and he's getting really good at operating the skid steers, like Bobcat type tractors. And today he's going to come over here and he's going to clear a small area for a future shop/barn. It's happening, Kate. It's happening.
That is so cool.
So he's going to come over with a skid steer and some of that, wherever I tore down the other barn. You guys saw videos of me tearing down the barn, or the kids really tore down. My young men, they're my kids, but they're not kids. They're big boys. And so
They're not boys anymore either.
that's right. They're men.
That's right.
And yeah, I'll tell you what, the two of them are just.
Now, you're talking about your two older boys?
I'm talking about Brody and Espen.
Yeah.
Well, Espen's younger than Luke.
Yes.
But yeah, so they are energetic and strong. Now, we as a family are fairly small people, so they're not huge men, but they are strong and full of energy and able to accomplish a lot.
I don't know. Espen is bulking up real nicely.
Espen's, yeah.
He's working on it, and it shows.
He's the biggest person in our family.
He's getting very good definition to his muscles.
He really is. And he would be happy to hear that from you because that's one of his goals. Now, recently, he switched his workout plan from going to the gym and just lifting weights to rock climbing.
Oh, that's so good.
And that is a full body workout.
Yes, it is.
So
That's
he loves
excellent.
that.
And it's not just the muscle workout, it's also good for balance and a lot of other things.
Focus.
Hand-eye coordination, focus, all of that.
Oh, yeah. He's good at it. His big brother's good at it, too. All right. Espen reminds me of a Viking. Now, he'd be pretty happy to hear that, too, I'm sure. His name, man, I'll tell you what. Things come out of my mouth weird sometimes. His name actually is from that area of the world, from the Norway, Scandinavian area, where the Vikings came from, I guess. Let's see. I came across your channel earlier this week while searching for kombucha videos. I made kombucha for the first time and have my second fermentation going. I'm looking forward to watching your videos. Thank you. So that is, let me see if I can say your name. Menegasi. Thank you very much for allowing me to butcher your name right here on live YouTube. But I am excited that you found my channel, excited that you joined us on Saturday morning, and hopefully will join the community. By the way, if someone is still watching at 44 minutes and 20 seconds into this video, you might be interested in the family group on YouTube, not YouTube, what's that other one? Facebook. There is a closed, I can't say anything right. There is a closed Facebook group called the Daddykirbs Family, F-A-N-I-L-Y. We are all fans of the same type of things, fans of the Daddykirbs content and what all that involves. And so it's just a nice place to go join the community, share your story, and get to know some people in the family group. So if you just found me and you're interested in that, but I got to tell you, if you go into that group on Facebook, there are 2 questions that you have to answer. It's not a hard quiz or a test. 2 simple questions. That sun's getting hot, isn't it, Kate?
Yes, it does.
2 simple questions because that's one of our filters for people coming into the group. So if you're interested in joining the family group, hit join, answer the questions, and join the conversation.
By the way, Fern's first name is Fernanda.
Fernanda. I wanted to ask this earlier and I forgot. Tell me which country you're from. I occasionally do that, and I'm very interested because over the years, I have made some amazing friends from around the world. I'm not going to list all the countries, so if I forget yours, forgive me. I will read countries, but I'm going to only list 3. I have a great friend family in Norway that I have visited and adore. I love you guys very much. I have friends in Venezuela. I have friends in India, and I know that there are some in, country. I said country, I meant Canada, and Australia, and actually several in Australia. Can't forget you guys.
You have New Zealand?
New Zealand. I know that there's also some Middle East countries that visit regularly.
Several South Americans.
South America. So
And I got a Vietnamese follower recently.
wow, Kate, going around the world.
Yeah.
A Vietnamese.
And he posts his comments in Vietnamese, and I use the Google Translate and answer him in Vietnamese.
Nice, isn't that fun? It's
Yes,
really,
it is.
It's really fun that hey, somebody just asked to join the family group. Oh wait, that made a noise. Is my Sorry about that. I had my notification sounds still on.
Tim Turner's here, and he says the country he's from a little country called Texas.
Texas. That's right. It's not a little country, Tim. What are you talking about? Let's see. Canada. Yes, several from Canada. Lynx and Freaky Geek.
UK.
Food Forest Permaculture. Another from Canada is representing this morning. Bee Country. Virginia. Yeah, I guess I should have asked for country and states. Texas. You bet. Yeah, so we have several. We have Carrie,
Karen
JTC
says she has
Homestead.
a follower from Indonesia.
Ooh, Karen has followers in Indonesia. Not amnesia. Vancouver Island, Canada. UK. Phil from the UK. I have several UK followers. Phil is representing this morning. Australia, Mary, representing Australia. What are the pink flowers in the background? Those are salvia, and the butterflies and bees absolutely love them. Hummingbirds come in too. The hummingbirds don't stick around long because the flowers aren't super big, but they do get a little bit out of that. Let's see.
Wisconsin from Anna at the farm.
Quebec, or Quebec, however you say that. The Busy Little House. I didn't know that Busy Little House was in Canada.
Who?
The Busy Little House.
Oh, yes.
I thought you guys were stateside.
Hey, for a long time I thought she was in Texas.
I did too. I
Yeah.
thought she was in Texas. Well, Canada's almost as big as Texas.
Almost.
Let's see. Minnesota, Washington State, Texas, another Texas. 8th time family farm. Nice. 8th time, does that mean 8 generations? That would be super cool. Arkansas, Ontario, another Canada. Oh, I think Freaky Geek was
Northwest Florida.
Northwest Ohio. Missouri. Foraging freedom. I'm an honorary Texan. Nice. Texans are nice people. If you guys come hang out, we'll let you claim Texas, at least in part. Another person asked to join the not the family homestead, the family group. All right, I can see that notification coming in, by the way. All right, looking through. Oregon. I have never visited Oregon. It's one of the states I've never been in, and I would really love to. My mom and my sister recently went up through, actually, I don't think they made it into Oregon. They flew into Seattle and went and visited Alaska by cruise, and that sounds like a good time. I've never been to Oregon or Washington State. Canada's large. I know Canada's big. I was just kidding, Phil, about the Texas being bigger. There's a lot of pride in the bigness of Texas, so we have to say we're bigger than just about everything. Alaska's bigger than Texas, but Texas will always be bigger. Texas is kind of like your dad. Like, you can outgrow your dad, but you'll never be bigger than your dad. That's how I feel about it.
And those of us who were born in Texas always said when Alaska came to the Union, Alaska's not really bigger than we are. If you melt them all down, they're pretty small.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, Georgia.
Oh, that's so cool. Eighth time family farm. So it's from Proverbs. For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again. We had a rough go, but we just kept going. And that is a beautiful example of the don't give up. The theme of this morning, don't give up, keep going, stick to it because your story matters. So thank you, Eighth Time Family Farm, for sticking to it because your story matters.
Amen.
I believe it. I really do. Northeast Georgia. Let's see, keeping up on spring plans. Is that a question to me? I never keep up. I just keep going. I have been experiencing an amazing burst, a resurgence of energy and a reduction in pain. Some of you guys have heard my little video on Facebook about how I am living with much less pain these days, because for 20 years, and I'm not going to go on a rant here, maybe a little rant, for 20 years I was in pain. From the time I was in the military until recently, and no links on this, please, moderators, I'm just sharing a little bit. I lived with chronic pain. I got hurt in the military and banged myself up pretty good in a training exercise. Lucky for me, I never had to go to combat, but it was a training exercise and I got hurt. And for 20 years experienced pain related to just that, the shock of the body, and it just kind of resonates through. Anyway, recently found a way to live without that pain for the most part. It's not 100%, but it's close. And the amount of energy that I have is amazing. And so lately I've been able to not only get projects started, but I've been working hard and getting them done. Did you see the fence that I posted on Instagram, Facebook? The fence is coming along beautifully. Working on those fence holes and getting those posts set and all tied together. So right now there is a total run of about 96 feet, because right now there's 10 feet out, 76 feet long, and one rung done the other direction of another 10 feet. So about 96 feet of fence, and the fence posts are 100 pounds each. They are 6 by 6 by 10 feet long, and yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Time for beanbags.
Beanbags? What? All right, I'll get to the beanbags. I was just first time on the live stream. Country Homestead Preacher. Yes, Country Homestead Preacher. Sometimes I preach. Not really. I mean,
yeah, you do. You just did this morning.
I do, just not from a pulpit.
Right.
My pulpit is my
But
farm.
a lot of good preaching comes from real life, not from a pulpit.
That's right. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out, where's that cornhole? This is going to be a little difficult with the, I'll use one of my squirrels on the back of this. Hey, there, now we can see it. There we go. There we go. All right. Take care, Freaky Geek. Is Freaky Geek leaving? Thanks for hanging out with us. All right. Here we go. We'll start with stars. I got stars and stripes. We'll start with stars. We'll see how many I can get in over the right shoulder today using only the camera as a gauge. I will not be looking at the board. This is blindfolded and throwing knives and playing with fire.
Nope.
Oh,
A
man.
little more power.
Oh, I said I wasn't going to look. I looked.
In the hole.
Yes!
Nope. A little further up.
Okay, that was 4 stars. So I got a total of 2 on the board and 1 in the hole. So in cornhole, that's 5 points. 5 points. So in the game of cornhole, if the opposite team gets, you can cancel out points. So I might be canceling out points here with the stripes.
It's on the board.
Okay, so that's actually -1 for stars.
Another one on the board.
-2, so that's 3 points for stars, still up. Oh, man.
-3 for stars.
Okay, so that's stars win with 2 points.
Yay!
All right, that was fun. It's a fun game. I like, oh, and by the way, my buddy Tim Turner, who is an active member of this community, made those cornhole boards for me. And you, Mr. Tim, have provided so much fun, so much joy, so much pleasure to not only our family, but the people that we get to share that experience with online and in real life. Sometimes we pull those boards out and we play cornhole here on the farm, and you really have, you don't know, you probably think it was just a few scrap 2x4s and a plywood, but that and your talent and your ability to give gifts like that, Mr. Tim, has really given us a lot of joy. So thank you very much. I'm very grateful. I am very grateful lately. And you know what? Just the ability to live in less pain, like I was saying earlier, has allowed me to be more grateful. It's not that I ever wasn't grateful before, but sometimes when you hurt, you can't express the joy and the gratefulness just because you hurt. And because I hurt less now, I find that I'm more grateful. So let me just share that with you. I'm grateful for you guys, grateful for Tim, grateful for that gift, grateful for the joy that it brings many people. Thank you.
And I'm grateful that you have an attitude of gratitude.
I do have an attitude of gratitude, and it's getting better. It's getting more robust. I have a robust attitude. Can you even say that?
Yes.
I have a robust.
1 minute warning.
1 minute? Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Ah, man. Oh, and speaking of gifts and gratitude, thank you, Kate.
You're welcome.
Kate gave me a pack of seeds. These are moringa seeds. And the moringa this past winter didn't do well because moringa is a tropical plant and it grows fine in Texas until we get a hard winter. All of my moringa died.
Mine too.
And so you ended up with some seeds and sharing them. So thank you very much. We're going to get some moringa going on the farm again. All right. Wow. So let me just give, let's see. Thank you, Tim. Thank you. Moringa is a great plant for just nutrition. It's a very nutritious. The leaves, actually, you can eat more of the plant, but the leaves are just super dense and they taste good too. Sprinkle them on a salad or put them in a soup or whatever. They're just
Or
really
dry 'em and
tasty.
make them part of your green smoothies.
That's right. You can dry them, put them in your smoothie, or dry them and powder them and use the powder as like a spice or a supplement. Really good stuff. Let's see. Great job, mods. Yes, you guys are amazing. I'm just going to scroll through real quick. Country Homestead Preacher said we grew our first moringa tree this year. Hope we can keep it alive. I hope you can too.
The maximum low temperature you can go is right above freezing. Anything below that freezes them.
Yeah, so the moringa does not tolerate freezing temperatures. You just have to protect it in the winter. That's why it would be wise to grow them in a container. They can't get full size probably in a container, but you have to be able to move it in when it's going to get cold, or put it in a greenhouse, or I don't know, something where you protect it from the cold. All right, that is just about it. I'm going to say yes. Several of you asked to join the family group. Okay, so Fur, let me just say, I'm just going to call you Fur. Answer the questions. It doesn't really matter what your answers are. You don't even have to. Some of them have been really funny answers, and I appreciate that too. The whole point is that you engage, you know enough to engage in the answers to those questions so that I can say you're in. So, what a show.
Yeah.
Good time. Let me slide this over. Thank you so much for being a part of our story this morning and allowing us to be a part of yours.
Yeah.